Hey y'all, welcome back to the Camping Loop. RV black tanks, pretty much everybody's least favorite chore, I would say, when it comes to maintaining their RV. Today we're going to show you everything you guys should and shouldn't be doing to keep those tanks clean, smelling fresh, and those sensors working the way that they should be working. Stay tuned. Alright guys, like I said, keep in mind there's going to be a lot of myths and misconceptions when it comes to this subject. Everybody's setup's the same. Some people have been doing things that they've had success with for years. Other people swear by certain strategies. This is more what we use. We got our advice from an RV tech who's been in the business for 12 or 13 years, something like that, who kind of specializes in this sort of thing. So these are all tips and advice that he's given us. We figured we'd share them with you, take them for what they're worth. If you guys have any other suggestions, leave them down in the comments section. We'd be happy to listen to them. Alright guys, number one, always keep water in your tanks. I can't stress this enough. You're going to hear me repeat it throughout the video. Water is really going to be the best weapon here when it comes to keeping these systems working best. Even when we're traveling down the road, I put 5 gallons in when I'm done pumping out in the black tank and a couple gallons in the gray tank. Really just kind of helps everything slosh around on the travel ride back home, keeps stuff from sticking to your side of your tank and stuff like that. So really the only time you shouldn't have any water in your tanks is if you're winterized and the camper's parked up. Number 2 guys, and this one's a little bit controversial I think, but stop using chemicals. We were told this from the RV tech. Basically the way he explained it is the minute you start introducing chemicals or additive to your tank, you've taken it from a holding tank to a septic system. When you use or add stuff to break down material, kind of turns into like a peanut butterous sludge kind of thing, I think is the term people use. This could be the number one reason why your tank sensors aren't working. Again, here the key is going to be make sure we're using enough water. So a couple, you use the bathroom, you fill the bowl all the way to flush it, you fill it again, you reflush it. Couple flushes per time in the bathroom is a rule. So stop wasting your money on those chemicals. They're really not helping the situation at all. Again, there are instances where this may not pertain to you. We have family members that have seasonal campgrounds and they're on a septic system or a actual sewer system, I guess you'd call it up there. So it may be a little different for them, but if you're traveling down the road and campsite to campsite and stuff like that, stop wasting your money on those chemicals. Key here again is going to be enough water. You can't ever use enough. Alright guys, tip number 3, always make sure your black tank is about 3/4 of the way full, at least, before you dump it. Same with the gray tank. If you have to, go ahead and fill them up, add the water into them yourself. This is going to help everything kind of get that big swoosh that comes through and help swirl around in the tank a little bit to get everything out. You really don't want to be emptying these if they're only 1/4 of the way or something like that full. You're going to have a lot better chance of toilet paper and other things sticking to the side of the tanks and those sensors. That again could be another reason why those aren't working well. So kind of a bonus tip to keep in mind too, if you guys are set up on like a full hookup campsite, make sure you're keeping both of those closed, even the gray tank. I know a lot of RVers keep that gray tank open, but again, you're going to have a lot of, hair or toothpaste or food particles or stuff like that that's going to go down into the gray tank, and you really want that full to kind of get that big swoosh to come through and push everything out towards the end. So obviously another common sense tip is when we are dumping these tanks, black first, then gray. Obviously, it's going to help rinse the hose, stuff like that. So alright guys, tip number 4, make sure we're spraying out these tanks from the inside of the camper, toilet down, and outside up where the dump nozzles are, probably at least twice a year. It could be simply done with just a hose with a jet nozzle on it. I like to turn the water off. I have a little power washer set up here. It works perfect because I can get it right down in the hole. Make sure you have a low pressure setup if you are going to use this, but you can kind of blast it all out like that through there. It works really good as far as fighting the dreaded poop pyramid, which I'm sure we've all heard about. It's going to help kind of break anything up. If you got something stuck to your sensors, it's certainly going to help out with that. So I like to make sure I do this at least twice a year. I'm going to get set up, do it from inside the camper here like I just showed you guys, and then I also go outside and shoot up from my gray tank and black tank release, just to kind of clean the pipes out and stuff like that too. So alright guys, number 5 is pretty much all common sense. Don't flush anything or put anything in that tank or down the toilet other than toilet paper. You don't have to waste the money on the good toilet paper, the expensive camper stuff. Any toilet paper will work. Again, we go back to the water thing. As long as you're using enough flushes in between and filling the bowl before you flush and keeping your tanks full before you dump them, pretty much any toilet paper will work. We just buy the normal single ply stuff that you can get at Target or Walmart. Another good idea is keep your sink strainer on the sink so we don't have food particles and stuff going down in the gray tank. Keep as much toothpaste and hair and all that kind of thing out of your bathroom sinks as you can. Again, your gray tank can start to smell just as bad. Another good idea is to make sure that those are getting cleaned out somehow as well. The only real way to do it is kind of up from the outside of the camper. So that's tip number 5. Again, it's just common sense things. Make sure we're not really putting anything down there that's going to cause a clog or cause the sensors to break or a backup or something like that in the system. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. These are 5 things that we do to help kind of keep everything working and flowing good, if you will. Again, not everybody's are going to be the same, so keep that in mind. If you have something to add in the comments or a tip or something you do that's useful, we'd be more than happy. Love to hear that. If you have any questions, leave them down there for me. I'll do my best to answer them. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time.